And every year, we're used to seeing airplanes drop fire retardant to help ground crews do their job. But what if instead of airdropping it as retardant, you put it on your house before the fire ever starts? Well, the company making this fire retardant is adapting it to do just that. In tonight's cover story, Brendan Ritteman looks at how it works in a story you'll only see on ABC 10.
All that bright red fire retardant we see falling out of the sky comes from one company. With fires getting worse and worse, that company had an idea. What if we sell you retardant before there's a fire? That's what this crew is doing to a home in Portola Valley outside San Francisco. They're spraying the retardant on with a hose instead of an airplane, and right away you can see it's not the exact same formula.
And the only reason it's red is so pilots can see it.
Unlike the original PHOS-CHEK, this one will not paint your yard red. It's also been reformulated with the help of scientists at Stanford to be stickier and last longer.
It has durability all the way through until a couple inches of rain come at the end of fire season.
They're not just trying to sell this fire retardant to homeowners, they've also developed the product so that they can spray it off of a truck like this one, protecting roadsides and underneath power lines, which have caused some of our deadliest fires the last several years. A spray is not going to fix every problem. If, for instance, your power company happens to have a history of neglecting safety work, the retardant won't stop power lines from sparking. It can't make anything 100% fireproof, but if sparks do fall, the idea is to keep the grass underneath from breaking into flames.
It helps render the vegetation non-flammable, so it actually chars it versus burns.
The downside is you got to put on a new coat every year, which means an ongoing cost. A 20-foot wide spray along power lines or roads can run upwards of $20,000 a mile. Not exactly cheap, but cheaper than a wildfire, which is the company's pitch for spraying it in the most vulnerable places. As for your house, the retardant isn't a magic fix-all either.
You're able to put an additional barrier. You know, after you've cleaned out your gutters, after you've done the fire-wise approaches, the common sense things, the defensible space.
The PHOS-CHEK people are working with some insurance companies to try to pay for treating more people's yards, but they say you don't have to own a big estate out in the hills to be able to afford it. If you'd like them to mix up a batch of this and put it on your yard, it'll set you back anywhere from a few $100s to several thousand if you need a big truckload like this.